The sun is starting to go down, so I put a bag on top of the lamp to act as a kind of makeshift light diffuser so that I can go ahead and get a video recorded right now. My husband's watching TV in the other room. If you hear anything, that's why. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm trying to save a $30K emergency fund in 30 weeks, and a big part of that is sticking to a spending plan or a budget. Hi, my name is Connie, and this is Mystery Free Money, a channel focused on keeping money simple and making financial transparency a priority. In my last video, I mentioned the possibility of showing you all my spending plan for the month of April. Well, this is that video, and since there's a lot to go over, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Layla from the channel Personal Finance with Layla Debt Over It for showing me how to share my laptop screen with the little face bubble in it since I was having trouble with that. Layla's awesome. I've worked with her for about 2 years now, I think, and she's an awesome financial coach. Check her channel out if you want more information about financial coaching, if you're interested in investing or getting out of debt. She has a ton of free resources and videos and things like that as well. So at the top, of course, is income, and I have my income broken into 3 parts. The first is W-2 income, and for the month of April, I'm estimating that that number is going to be $6,795. This W-2 income is from my full-time job and my part-time job, and this does include some overtime for both jobs. So the next item under income is extra income, and that number for the month of April I'm estimating to be $2,450. And if you're interested in everything that goes into the extra income category, definitely check out my other video. I'll link it below. But in the month of April specifically, the things that are going to go into extra income are as follows. I'm going to read them out real quick. But $5 from converting our coin jar into dollars, $30 for a school reimbursement. This is a relative that is going to be reimbursing some of my husband's school expenses, about $45 in high yield savings account interest, about $150. This is another reimbursement, but my mom is going to pay me back for some supplements. The next item is $256.96. This is a reimbursement for a Christmas dinner that my husband and I covered for his family. Next is $309.04. This is a medical claim reimbursement, so this is through my medical insurance, and this is money that we covered for out-of-network providers, and we just need to get the money back from the insurance company. Next is $354. This is actually another reimbursement, a family member who owes us about $654 for travel. And the last thing is $1,000 even for another reimbursement, a family member who owes us for some lawyer fees. The last income category is actually pulling money from our sinking fund. Pretty much the only sinking fund that we have right now is for personal spending, so we can pull it out of it throughout the year. If you add up all of these income categories, the total is about $9,405, which is a crazy number. I don't think I've ever seen a month that high before, but we're really going to work hard this month to ramp up the extra income and hit this number so that we can fund our emergency fund. Okay, so now on to the expenses. The first item on the list, of course, is rent, $1,195. We live in North Carolina, and we are currently in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. This is actually a little bit on the low side, but our landlord is a private owner, and he hasn't raised the rent in about 3-4 years, so it's a really good deal. The apartment isn't perfect, but we're really grateful to be here, and we just renewed for another year. Next on the list is electricity, $193.33. After that is our phones, so we pay about $30 for our mobile provider. Next is $70 for internet. This is actually a promo price that we get for about a year, and then it's going to go up. But every single year I call the internet company and try to get them to prolong the promotion. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. To get this promo rate, I had to cancel and then sign back up. You have to wait about 30 days to be able to be a new customer. But yeah, this this should be going up at the end of the year. The next item on the list is $367, which is for car insurance and rent insurance. It's bundled together. Next on the list is $128.93. This is for my husband and my life insurance. Next is $189.24 for gasoline. This is for our car. Next is $36.68 for subscriptions. We actually have quite a few subscriptions: Hulu, Peacock, Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus, a few others. I have Apple Storage, which is $9.99 a month. So we have the ad versions for all of those streaming services, which keeps costs down a little. I actually don't mind. I use that as an opportunity to get up and go to the bathroom or get a drink or something, and they go by pretty quickly. The other way we're able to save on subscriptions is to sign up on Black Friday, and usually a lot of the streaming services will have a big discount on Black Friday. I think for Hulu, we're paying about $3.19 a month, and it's the same amount for Disney Plus. I think we're paying around $8 for Netflix every month. That's for one household, so we're not sharing our account right now. And we definitely don't need all these subscriptions. We really value watching movies and shows and things like that, so we forego some forms of entertainment for a lot of subscriptions, and that's just something we like spending money on. Speaking of entertainment, that's the next thing in our budget, which is $50 that I'm budgeting for entertainment in April, and so far we don't really have anything planned, but there's always things popping up at the last minute for us, and I wanted to make sure that we had it covered in case. Last month, actually, we ended up spending $0 in entertainment, so I was really proud of us for that. Next is $46.80 for our beauty category, and this is basically just my husband's haircut. I'm not spending anything right now on my hair or nails or anything like that, just because it's not really something I value, and I don't have any important events coming up or anything like that, like a wedding. So I'm just gonna save the money for now and put the money toward our emergency fund. Next on the list is $55 for the gym. The next item on the list is $85 for gifts. I have twin nieces that have birthdays in April, so this is going to cover gifts for them and any other things that pop up during the month. Next is $900 for groceries, and like I said in my other video, this is actually a very conservative number. We're actually cutting $300 off of our grocery budget, which $900 is still a pretty generous amount. So that means we were spending $1,200 before this, and I know that's a ghastly amount of money for food for just two people and no kids, no pets, but yeah, my husband and I were huge foodies, and we also, like I mentioned before, we struggle with meal planning and things like that. So this is something we're really challenging ourselves to do, is meal plan and prep for the next few months in order to put the extra money toward our emergency fund goal. I'm budgeting about $735 this month for travel. We're actually planning to fly to Florida this month to visit my grandmother, and then this amount also includes $225, which is kind of a sinking fund for my friend's wedding in October. Next on the list is $600 for taxes, and this isn't money that we're setting aside for estimated taxes or anything like that. We'll worry about the taxes due for the bank bonuses and things like that later next year. This is specifically for our 2025 taxes. I can't remember the last time we've gotten a refund. We usually end up owing money every year. I don't have that final number because we haven't filed our taxes yet, but we're planning to file in April, obviously. So TBD, it may be more than this, it may be less. Fingers crossed, it's only about $600. Next on the list is $290. This is money we're setting aside for pharmacy or medical expenses. We have reached our insurance deductible for the year, but we still owe co-pays for prescriptions, and some bills from doctors for the deductible amounts are still trickling in, so we'll just pay those as they come in. Next on the list is $250 for eating out, and this is actually a lot lower than normal. In past months, we have spent about $600 on eating out a month, but we're really trying to cut back this month so that we can put all the extra money toward our emergency fund. We'll see. This is definitely going to be a challenge for us, but we're going to do our best to stick to the budget and keep this category as low as possible so that we can put all the extra money in our emergency emergency fund. The next category is personal spending, and for the month of April, I'm actually going to challenge myself to not spend any money in my personal spending category. We'll see how it actually turns out, but I'm challenging myself right now to not spend any money on fun spending, so no coffees out, nothing like that. For my husband, he's planning to spend about $160 in the month of April. It includes things like sodas and eating out when he's going just by himself, and then also any video games or things like that that he wants to purchase. But yeah, this is one of the categories where we're going all cash so that we don't go over. Next on the list are our two debt categories. One is my student loan, and that's $230 a month. The next thing is actually our only credit card debt. The minimum payment is $63, and this is actually on a 0% interest card. And I'm kind of just paying that $63 minimum payment every month until this card is paid off. So the last item on the list, which is our biggest category, is savings. And for this one, I'm estimating about $4,000 to go into our emergency fund. And yeah, this is a gigantic goal, but we have a plan and we're going to do our best to implement this plan and stick to it and yeah, hit this number. The total expenses for the month of April, including savings and debt, is $9,674.98. So as you probably noticed, the income minus expenses and savings and debt is a difference of about $269.98 in the deficit. So we're short almost $270, but I'm just gonna go with it. If we need to, we'll just put less into the emergency fund or zero out the travel savings or something like that. So besides the extra income that I listed at the beginning of the video, here are some other ways that I'm going to try to save money in the month of April. The first thing I'm going to do is sign up for the app Upside. I've never used this app before, but I've heard it's really good, and I'm going to sign up using Layla's code actually, which is debt over it. I'm planning to post a video later talking about all the cash apps that I'm using and how much money I'm able to make from them. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that started now. The next thing is to set up a family calendar, kind of a hub spot in front of our door. It'll be a good place to kind of do a quick overview of our day or week to see what appointments we have coming up or events, things like that, so we can plan accordingly. One thing I really want to do this month is to cut down on the number of fees that we incur missing appointments. The last to-do item I have on my list for the month of April is to switch rent and auto insurance providers. I think Layla has a video on it, so I'll link that below, but basically you fill out some questions online and they send you some insurance providers that fit your criteria that could be lower than the provider you currently have. They don't collect your phone or email address, and they definitely don't spam you, which is a huge plus. So yeah, I'll link Layla's video below and you can take a look at it and figure out if maybe it's time for you to switch providers. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Right now, it's a pretty bare bones budget, but my husband and I are going to do our best to stick to it and see if we're able to save $4,000 toward our emergency fund in the month of April. By the way, here's the tracker that I'm planning to use in the month of April to track how much we have left to save for the month. Right now, since there are 4 weeks in April, we're aiming to save $4,000 for the month of April. Each one of the eggs on the chart represent different amounts, and once the entire tracker is colored in, it means that we've reached our goal. In my next video, since it's almost the last day of March, as I'm filming this, I'm going to add up all of our numbers for the month and share if we were able to reach our goal of saving $1,000 a week toward our emergency fund for the month of March. So feel free to subscribe if that sounds like something you're interested in seeing. Thanks for watching.